Today on ATV 360, school bullying. Do our schools do enough to prevent bullying? Teenage pregnancy. Does the media glorify teenagers becoming pregnant? Re-election in 2012. Will Obama win the next election for president? And our debate of the day, does the United States get too involved in foreign countries? Plus, we will discuss the world ending in 2012. Welcome to ATV 360.
Good evening and welcome to ATV 360. I'm Lindsay McKern.
I'm Kristina Hall.
And I'm Scott Hosey.
We're going to move right into our first debate today. It's something that we all know is a huge problem right now, school bullying. Kristina, are schools doing enough to educate and prevent school bullying?
Absolutely not. I don't believe that schools are doing enough to educate students on school bullying. For instance, there was a case in North Oakland at Piedmont Avenue Elementary School with Zachary Collado. His aunt found him lying against a tree after an older kid, let me remind you, he's only 7, slammed him up against a tree. He was too dizzy to stand up. And then when his father went to talk to the school about it, they told him they couldn't do anything about it because no one was around. No one was around right after school when people are supposed to go pick them up. Like, that's ridiculous. And that's just, the school is just basically taking blame right there for it. And not only that, like, I don't know, it's just ridiculous.
I couldn't disagree more. Honestly, I feel like schools for some reason have been burdened with way too much responsibility. First of all, it starts at home with the parents, all right? Something's going wrong in these kids' houses if they feel the need to go to school and throw kids against trees. Obviously, those kids are getting pushed around probably by their parents. I think the bullying starts at home. Another thing is, 41 of our 50 states have anti-bullying laws. 41 of 50 of them. All right? Bullying has gone on since the beginning of time. It's always happened. It's always going to be there. But I feel like there's got to be ways where we can teach kids at home the right and wrong and why we should and should not bully. But I don't think the school should be directly responsible. Obviously, within a class environment, there's certain things you could do. But outside of school, I mean, there's not much you could say to these kids.
But he was on school grounds. He was still on school grounds, 1. And 2, he's only 7 years old. That's elementary school. Like, teachers should still be around to a certain point. They should wait till the kids leave. Like, they're young enough. Not only that, the kid got his 2 front teeth knocked out when he was in kindergarten by older kids. Like, I agree with you. Bullying does start at home by the parents, but when it's on school grounds, the school should be doing something for it. So they should get blamed for it if they're not there.
Well, obviously, bullying's been going on forever. I mean, this is nothing new. I mean, it's nothing different. And it's gone at all levels. I mean, you look at, even in college, a Rutgers student took his own life, jumped off a bridge because he was filmed having sexual intimacy with another male. And, I mean, for some reason, nowadays, kids are taking bullying and I guess they're taking more to heart, and you see more kids taking their life, and it's terrible. I mean, but maybe you could do more counseling, or there's something you could do. But I feel like a school is responsible for educating the children. I mean, obviously, they'll have classes about bullying and things like that, but that's not exactly going to stop a child. I feel like it takes law enforcement, security issues, or parents to tell their kids, because most kids don't want to listen to what they're told in school, regardless, whether it's bullying or just fooling around in class or whatever it is. Most kids do not want to listen to their teachers, and I feel like school should not be held responsible.
Do you guys think that UAlbany is doing enough to prevent school bullying?
I mean, I feel like when you're in the college setting, it's harder. I feel like by this age, we should be a little more mature about it. I don't necessarily see it happening as much. But in high school, like, that's obviously, I feel like that's one of the bigger problems. I mean, for instance, I was looking up this case just in...
Sorry, I'm going to have to cut you off.
That's okay.
Final point.
My final point is just, I don't think the schools do enough educating on bullying, and I think students, as well as parents, need to be more informed about what's going on.
Basically, I think that the schools have, they've put their classes forward and they try their best. I feel like parents at home have to do a better job of teaching their kids what's right and what's wrong, and that's the real problem we have.
All right, thank you guys for that moving debate. We're now going to see a special report from our very own ATV 360 anchor, Azrae Jenkins.
March 12th, students participated in their annually held fraternity-hosted event, Kegs and Eggs. This year it ended up getting really out of hand. Students trashed downtown Albany, bashing cars, tossing televisions, couches, and a number of other items. Students involved have been legally reprimanded, some federally charged. Though this event is not school-affiliated, President George M. Phillip thought it necessary to revoke Fountain Day from the students. Students gathered at the small fountain to protest and voice their pains for being punished as a student body for the actions of 300 to 400 students.
Thank you, Azrae. All right, for our second debate today, we are going to talk about teenage pregnancy, something that I'm really excited to hear about. So Scott, do you think that the media is glorifying teenage pregnancy?
Not at all. I don't feel like there's any way you can glorify teenage pregnancy. Teen pregnancy costs America over $7 billion annually, and crazy stat, just under 1/3 of America's population of teenage girls does become pregnant. So, I mean, when you watch these shows, Teen Mom and 16 and Pregnant, obviously they're all getting big, you know, a lot of publicity, but I don't feel like that's glorifying it. I mean, you watch those shows, I don't think anyone wants to be in those girls' position, and I don't think they make being teenage and pregnant cool at all, so I would have to disagree with that completely.
Oh, I disagree with you because, for instance, Teen Mom, you say people don't want to be in that situation. Okay, granted, most people don't. But according to several sites, as well as MTV.com, there are girls getting pregnant purposely just to be on the show because they want the money and the fame. That's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, you don't want to be in these girls' positions, but yet you're going to go out and get pregnant so you can get some money.
Well,
like, go get a job.
Obviously, there's some Looney Tunes out there in all walks of the earth in America. I mean, we're in a pretty crazy country. But I highly doubt that people are intentionally getting pregnant at their teen years to get that kind of money. I mean, there's other ways of going about getting money. I mean, to say that people are getting pregnant to be on that show, like, why don't you just try out for the Real World or something? I don't understand why 16 and pregnant Teen Mom, I mean, all they do is cry and moan and fight with their parents and complain. They don't get any child support. There's never a father involved. It's just some trashy boyfriend. Like, I don't think there's anything about either of those shows that would make any girl want to be in that position. Ever.
Well, no, and you shouldn't want to be in that position. Absolutely not. But then you have a group of girls in Massachusetts. There was a group of 17 girls who were no older than 16 decided they were going to make a pact with each other so they could all get pregnant at the same time and raise their kids together. Now, where do you think they got that idea from? I'm sure it was because of watching these stupid shows about girls being pregnant. And to top it off, one of the girls that did get pregnant was by a 24-year-old homeless man.
Well,
yeah.
Well, that is pretty disgusting. Obviously, she wasn't safe in that regards too. So, yeah. I mean, I don't know, who knows, like, good luck with that baby. But what I'm saying is, I feel like our country is too quick to blame media, television, and everything else. Just like our last debate, obviously, the parents have to do something. There's no way that 17 girls could decide to get pregnant, and that just completely flies under the radar. I mean, you feel like, did these kids come home to someone? I don't understand how girls could feel like getting pregnant at 17 would ever be a good idea. I mean, you might raise your children with your friends, but there's no money involved. I mean, these shows, I feel like all shows on MTV are put there so you can laugh at those people.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at The Real World, The Jersey Shore, every single reality show, even True Life and Made, you're laughing at these people. I mean, Teen Mom and 16 and Pregnant obviously is made so you can laugh at the situation and say, I mean, basically all they get is free diapers. I mean, I don't know how much they're getting paid.
I mean, yeah, you can laugh at the situation, but on Teen Mom, on Teen Mom 2, I believe her name is Chelsea. Her friend that was living with her, rooming with her, now she's pregnant. You just saw your friend go through all the whole mess that she did, and now you're going to go get pregnant?
Well, maybe she just didn't get enough airtime on the last season. She probably just wanted to fit in, you know. I mean, being right in the situation,
yeah,
maybe she
figured don't really want to benefit from it.
All right, guys, final points.
Basically, more than 2/3 of girls that do get pregnant in their teens do not graduate. So, young ladies of America, please help yourselves, help our country. Don't get pregnant. Wait. You'll meet a nice guy eventually.
My final point is, yes, the media does glorify teen pregnancy. If you don't believe me, go watch Secret Life of American Teenager. It's Monday nights at 8 o'clock.
Never saw it.
All right, Scott and Kristina, thank you for that entertaining debate. We're going to take a short commercial break, but stick around because there's plenty more excitement to come.
Extra bright, I want y'all to see this. Turn up the lights in here, baby. You know what I need. Want you to see everything. Want you to see all of the lights.
And next, guys, we have to do a better job at what we do. Editors, you have to do a better job at editing.
Camera operators, we need to do a better job of operating the cameras.
And last but not least, you need to be on time.
I like when a man has a little scruff on him and you just kind of like rub your hands through it and it's like, oh boy, come over here.
Welcome back. And now something that I'm really excited for, it's quickly approaching us, the 2012 election. Kristina, could Obama be reelected in 2012?
I believe yes. I truly believe that Obama could be reelected. His competition, when I think of Republican and his competition right now, all I can think of is Donald Trump. What a joke. Let's be serious. I don't know how you guys feel, but I do not want Donald Trump being my next president. He just got roasted on like Comedy Central and whatnot. He's just not a good look for our country. You know, maybe his comb over, but that's about it. Besides that, right now, Obama has a high, he's in the high 40 percentile approval rate, and out of the last three presidents, 2 out of the last 3 were both in the same ranking, and they were reelected, so I do think he has a chance still.
I mean, a chance. I mean, everyone is thought to have some kind of chance just because he's already going to be there. But basically, Obama was brought in as a president for one main reason, and that's change. The only thing that Obama really did change since he's been the president is the appearance of the White House. Other than that, I mean, the economy's still down. Unemployment is still horrible, especially among minorities who are supposed to be a big bulk of his votes. I mean, on top of that, Afghanistan and Iraq, I mean, he hasn't really done anything about that, pulled anyone out. The biggest thing he's done is Obamacare, and they haven't even passed that yet, and they won't be passed by the next election. So I can't see any way possible that people will think that when a guy who has preached change throughout his whole candidacy, like what is he gonna, how is he gonna run? Like, what's gonna be his argument? Last time is change, change, change. What's he gonna say now? I'm asking you to pull his case for being the next president. What can he say?
I can't answer that. I can't honestly answer that, and I will give you that. But, you know, we've had this conversation in a previous debate between us. And personally, yes, okay, Obamacare, he's trying to get it completely through and whatnot. And He does preach change. I agree with you. Like, that's what he said was going to happen. And yeah, we haven't seen that many results, but it's only been 2 years, people. Like, that's really not that long. Tell me, Scott, if you were president, could you make that many changes in 2 years? Could you bring us back up from the economy that we were run down into? No, you can't.
I just critique the president.
I don't
That's
care.
my
Could
job.
you do it?
I don't want to do it, but you know who can do it? Mike Huckabee, the Republican running for president next time. I guarantee you he will be the next president of the United States. Last time he didn't have enough campaign power, didn't have enough money to raise like Hillary Clinton, Obama, McCain. The biggest liability, who was supposed to be a main asset of the Republican Party, was Sarah Palin. I guarantee you she will not be around, she will not be on television, and she will not be made a joke, and the Republican Party will not be a joke. For 8 years, they made Bush and the whole Republican Party into a joke, and now for the past 4 years, Obama has quickly made people forget by doing absolutely nothing as president. He has done absolutely nothing but beat around the bush, no pun intended, but he's not done anything to say he should be president. He had his chance. 4 years is enough. That's why we have a re-election every 4 years.
Kristina, if you think that President Obama is re-elected, you will see those changes? We will see those changes?
I honestly do believe that we could see those changes. I mean, the healthcare plan, like, it's really not going to take full effect until 2012. So I think that we should try to give him the opportunity to really push forward with that. Now, I'm not saying if nothing, absolutely nothing happens in the next 2 years, then okay, kick the guy to the curb. I get that. But he does have a little more than 2 years left, or no, a little less than 2 years left. So yeah, I think he can make change. I think we can do it. And I don't know. I really think if we give him the chance, he can get reelected.
All right. So final points.
Honestly, final point: Barack Obama had his chance. You know, gave the Democratic Party a chance. Didn't really do much with it. Didn't seize the opportunity. I feel like 4 years is enough. That's all we have. 4 years and a re-election. So Mike Huckabee, we'll be ready to step in. Not Donald Trump. We're not ready to make a joke at presidency right now.
My final point is I do honestly believe that if we give him the chance, he could be reelected, and he should be reelected. And, you know, let's just give the man the last 2 years that he has and then make our decisions.
Well, I don't know about our viewers, but that debate just pumped me up for the 2012 election. Very effective, guys. We are now moving into another special report brought to us by James Gandia.
UA Overtime is the premier sports talk show on Albany Student Television. Overtime is hosted by junior Jermaine Dennis and airs every day at 10:30, 5:30, 8:30, and 11:30. Anyone who's ever watched Around the Horn knows who Tony Reale, Woody Page, and Kevin Blackistone are. What you probably don't know about are all the people who do the very important work that goes on behind the scenes. From the camera work to sound control and editing, it takes a full team to bring all the pieces of the puzzle together. It takes countless hours to bring you this quality of programming. It also takes a little bit of style. ATV has a total of 14 shows, over 200 members, and a 32-person executive board. But that doesn't mean we can't use a little bit of extra help. If you'd like to get involved, please contact us at atvalbany@gmail.com. From the Albany Student Television Studio for ATV 360, this is James Gandia with your special report.
Thanks, James. Okay, so as I mentioned before in the last debate, 2012 is quickly approaching us.
Oh,
you guys know what that means? The end of the world. Dun, dun, dun.
I'm not scared, personally. I don't think it's going to happen.
What do you think?
I mean, I don't care either way. If it happens, we're all going, so what's the difference, you know?
Right.
People act like, you know, they're going to try to survive. What's the point? I mean, the end of the world is the end of the world, you know?
You
Like,
can't
where you're going to
control
go, you can't, you know, it's the end of the world. So, I mean, who cares? Like, you just got to live. I mean,
Personally, I'm kind of excited for it to happen with the way, you know, gas rates are going up and stuff. I don't think I can afford to stick around much longer.
What are you getting bullied or something? You want an easy way out? Quick fix?
Hey, I'm not saying anything.
I mean, it's tough. Like, I really don't think it's going to happen, but with all, like, the natural disasters going on and stuff, it's like, I don't know.
Every time what happens, every
time it's
here
happening, more and more people are dying.
But people act like, it's never been snowing in April and it's never been warm in February, and every time it happens, like, uh-oh, here we go, global warming. Like, it's happened before, like, even on those days and not even record highs, like, things like this has happened in the 30s and 40s, but people just want to bring it up anyway.
But, like, Nostradamus, he's a reliable source, right?
Well, what do you consider reliable?
Yeah, like, I don't know.
Knows,
the whole Mayan thing. I think they got lazy.
His name does, yeah.
Yeah, he sounds
like Charles Darwin.
He sounds important, right?
Yeah.
But no.
Yeah, I don't really buy it. It's cool though. I mean, do you think we should probably like live it up a little bit more since the world might be ending? Should we go crazy?
Let's go do
Let's
something.
have a party.
Like, when I waste my time in college, am I wasting my time?
That's how I feel.
I just drop
like,
out
am
and
I
go
just
crazy?
gonna
That's why we shouldn't cancel Fountain Day.
I know, right? Like,
so we can live it up one last time.
The world is going to end, so we need Fountain Day.
I don't know. I don't really see it happening. I think the Mayans got lazy. They just felt like not really continuing the calendar.
As long as John Cusack's around to help us, I think we'll be right. I don't know if you guys caught that movie. It was a good one. I definitely recommend
2012.
it. 2012.
All right, we are going to take one more short commercial break, but stay tuned because when we get back, we will be getting into the debate of the day.
Turn up the lights in here, baby. Extra bright, I want y'all to see this. Turn up the lights in here, baby. You know what I need. Want you to see everything. Want you to see all of the lights.
I like when a man has a little scruff on him and you just kind of like rub your hands through it and it's like, oh boy, come over here.
Welcome back, and now for the highly anticipated debate of the day. United States involvement in other countries. We're kind of like the protector of the world these days. Scott, do you think it's right for the U.S. to get involved in other countries' business?
Absolutely. I mean, a wise man once said, I believe it was Uncle Ben in Spider-Man the movie, with great power comes great responsibility. And the U.S. have that power. I mean, we are the world's #1 world power with the best military. And it's our job to try to keep other countries at peace and try to help them. I mean, if we don't help these small countries out with all these terrible dictators, who's going to help them? Who's going to reach out to them if not us?
And I understand, like, I agree with you, but we should not be the world police. We have the UN. Historically, the U.S. has gone over the UN, and really and truly, we should work with the UN, we shouldn't go above and beyond them. And like you said, who else is going to help them? There are plenty of other countries out there. Yes, we can have a big involvement in it, but we shouldn't be the main involvement. And I think that's our problem. We get too invested in it, and we just go a little overboard. There's a way to do it.
You say there's plenty of other countries out there, but who's ready to step up to the plate? I mean, when you look at it, all these countries, when they go to war, when they're in trouble, they look to us. Everyone looks to us. Like, we are the #1 alliance. Everyone wants to be with us. I mean, we're backed by $14 trillion, a quarter of the world's GDP. I mean, we have a defense budget of over $711 billion. Who else has that in the world? I mean, there's so many bad people out there, so many bad dictators and evil people. You need a good guy, and this world needs some kind of leader. And right now, we have to help carry that. I mean, there's a lot of bad things going on, and America needs to step up. We need to help these people. We need to help Iraq overthrow the government. We have to go, Afghanistan, they're very dangerous, and not just to us, to the rest of the world, too. We just happen to be the only people, the only country with the resources to go out and get these people. And I just feel like it is our responsibility to go out and try to, do the best we can to police the world, because there is no such thing as world police. So someone has to do something.
What do you think about what's going on right now in Libya? Do you think what President Obama is doing and Libya is
I mean, I think there should
working?
be an active involvement in Libya. However, I do think that what's going on in Japan and the fact that we're at war, like, it may not be the best time to do it, you know, because, I mean, time is always of the essence. I mean, I also feel like, back to our last topic, that Obama is trying to do a lot now with the elections coming up. Maybe he's trying to do too much because he did so little earlier. But I just feel like, you know, we do need to help these countries. And
I feel like we should help these countries, yes, but we can't handle all these things on our own. Like, we have our own problems to worry about, like you brought up in our last debate, our unemployment rate, we have a financial crisis, the government's about to shut down. Like, we have our own problems. Like, we need to focus first and foremost on ourselves and our country as a whole. Yeah, it's great, let's help other people, but we're number one right now to us. Like, we have to focus on us.
yeah, I mean, yeah, that could sound selfish. I mean, I feel like you have to think things on a larger scale, though, because even though we're having our problems, I mean, you have all these other countries, they could be, you know, building up against us. And if we, for 1 minute, show that we're weak, then, you know, what will the other nations think? Like, if we show for 1 minute, like, well, we got to help ourselves right now, I'm sorry, we can't get involved, then all of a sudden we're not the world power. We don't even have that intimidation factor. We don't have that dominance amongst the world, and that's going to hurt us. I mean, we need to be the world power. We have the best military, and we have to show that at all times. Otherwise, you know, once you show weakness, that's it. You can't get it back. We never get that strength back. And the inconsistencies in politicians and things like that, I mean, I feel like it will hurt us in the end.
I mean, when it, like, okay, let's go back to Iraq, for instance. We went to, like, our, like, intervention with them, where we went to war with them, you know what I mean? And we went to war because we thought there was weapons of mass destruction. Like, there wasn't. Like, come on, like, we're having,
so what are your final points?
My final point is that there's a way to intervene in other countries' business, but there's a proper way of doing it, and I think that we need to focus on our main problems instead of everyone else's.
I feel like the U.S. has been doing this for a very long time now, throughout wars and all other sorts of things. I just feel like this is not the time to stop. We have to try to maintain peace in some way. There'll never be world peace, but we can try to control it to some degree.
Well, you guys were on fire today. Thank you for those great debates. That's all we have for you, but come back next week to see more. For ATV 360, I'm Lindsay McKern.
I'm Kristina Hall.
And I'm Scott Hosey.
Have a good night.